And a big welcome, one and all. Welcome back to another Slamfest on Grudge match, the show where the top titans of the top comic universes clash in single combat to determine who takes home the gold. Today's matchup is a straight muscle fest when a couple of straight-up bruisers prepare to duke it out. From DC Comics, the devastatingly strong dead man from Slaughter Swamp, it's Solomon Grundy, and from Marvel and the Fantastic Four, the ever-lovin' Blue-Eyed Thing. Neither of these two get fancy with their abilities. No flying, no super speed, no energy manipulation. No, this is just a pure strength and durability bout. So let's waste no time and get into breaking down these two combatants, looking at their powers and their backstories. Starting with Solomon Grundy, first created way back in 1944. His real name is Cyrus Gold, and his backstory is that for whatever reason, there's a lot of conflicting stories about exactly why, but he was killed and his body was thrown into Slaughter Swamp, and that's where his body remained, sinking into the swamp for 50 years. And Slaughter Swamp is a place where a lot of mystical energies exist, and over time, those mystical energies and magical abilities bleeded into the body of Cyrus Gold, eventually transforming him into the undead behemoth known as Solomon Grundy. So 50 years later, after his death, he pulled himself out of the swamp having no memory of his past life, and he took the name Solomon Grundy from the old nursery rhyme that began Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. So because of the mystical energies of the swamp blending into him, he is actually part swamp and part plant matter. So over the years, he's had instances where he's been made a plant elemental the same way Swamp Thing sort of is. But he's never been as in touch with the green in the DC universe as Swamp Thing has been. So he's always just been sort of a half plant elemental. But he doesn't have much in the way of plant control or anything. His powers come strictly through strength and durability and having an undead physiology. So he is a zombie. He is not alive. His heart doesn't beat. Blood doesn't pump through his veins. He doesn't need to eat or breathe or sleep. He is an undead being. And his body has absorbed all those mystical energies from the swamp, making him incredibly durable and extremely strong. Now, his strength has changed and fluctuated over the years. In his original creation, he was a brute who was a bit stronger than a normal human, but not terribly so. And then over the years, it's increased to the point where, in modern days, he's able to go toe-to-toe with the heaviest hitters of DC, like Superman. His durability is also extremely high, even though he still has a body that's seemingly composed of flesh and bone. It's extremely tough, extremely durable, being able to withstand massively powerful attacks, heat, cold, energy blasts, magic. Because of his magical nature, he's able to absorb magical energies. So he's extremely durable to all forms of attacks. And so he's used his durability, his extreme strength to be a thorn in the side of many characters throughout the entire DC universe. The Thing of Marvel Comics, name of Benjamin J. Grimm, first created in 1961, is one of the founding members of the famed Fantastic Four. So he was a pilot and astronaut for the Fantastic Four and best friend to Reed Richards. When Reed Richards wanted to go into space to perform some of his experiments, Ben Grimm was the pilot who was going to take them all there. And on their fateful trip into space, the Fantastic Four were hit by cosmic rays, which gave them all their extreme powers. And for the Thing, that is the development of a rock-like hide. So his skin developed this rock-like exterior that also caused the rest of the tissue of his body, his bones, his organs, his muscle tissue, all to increase in durability and strength as well. So he has extreme strength provided to him by his powers, and much like Solomon Grundy, that strength has gone up over the years. Originally, when they were first created back in '61, Ben Grimm only had about a 5-ton strength rating, so he could only lift about 5 tons originally. And it has gone up considerably since then, to the point where nowadays he's rated in the 100-ton plus class, where his lowest amount that he'd be able to lift on any given time would be 100 tons, but capable of lifting far in excess of that as well. Though he is a big bruiser and a heavy hitter, the Thing has always been considered a step below the absolute top-tier strength characters of Marvel. He has tussled with characters like the Hulk and Thor in the past, but he's always been rated strength-wise as just below those kind of top-tier strength characters. But he is still an incredibly strong and incredibly durable combatant. So his rock-like hide is actually stronger than regular rock, so it can withstand vastly powerful attacks from major characters like the Hulk and Thor and not be damaged or destroyed. Also, that rock-like hide has taken from him his sense of touch, so he doesn't even have the ability to feel pain whenever he does potentially get injured, which can happen. He doesn't even feel it necessarily. Additionally, Benjamin Grimm is functionally immortal. When he's in his rock-like form, which is most of the time, he doesn't age. In the few and far between times when he's been reverted back to his human form, that's when his aging takes back up again. But since it has been so rare throughout the years, he's pretty much the same age now that he was when he was first transformed into the Thing, and he's expected to be able to survive far into the future. As long as he's not killed by something, he is functionally immortal. He's used his strength and his durability as a charter member of the Fantastic Four for many years, as well as branching out into other teams, and the superhero community regards him very highly. He's friends with most of the other superheroes and helps a lot of them out from time to time. So having taken a look at the backstories and the comparable strength level and durability level of these two characters, it's time to determine who would be victorious if they were to go toe-to-toe with each other. That winner's going to be Solomon Grundy. Both of these characters do have a couple of aces up their sleeve that the other does not possess. It's just a question of which is going to be more potent. For the Thing, he is much more intelligent than Solomon Grundy. Benjamin J. Grimm is nowhere near as high of intelligence as his friend Reed Richards, but he is a pretty intelligent fighter, and he thinks on his feet when he's in combat. So he is the more intelligent of these two fighters, especially considering Solomon Grundy's extremely diminished intelligence. But then on Solomon Grundy's side, when it comes down to it, he is probably the stronger of the two. Also, possibly more durable of the two as well. In strength, Solomon Grundy has, for many years, been able to go toe-to-toe with the absolute top-tier heaviest hitters of the DC universe, like Superman, and been able to give them a run for their money. Whereas Thing, as previously stated, is always considered a step below characters like Hulk or Thor, who are the top hitters of Marvel. So Solomon Grundy would take the edge in strength, and then when it comes to durability, well, both of them can potentially be injured, but when the Thing is injured, he is still a living, breathing being, so he does still need to breathe and to sleep and to eat, and when he does get injured, it takes more time to heal, and it can be more problematic for him as a living being. Solomon Grundy being a zombie, any damage that is done to him is not even noticed. He doesn't even notice when it happens, he certainly can't feel it, and it doesn't really hinder him that much. Also, because he is a part plant elemental, he does regrow damaged parts of his body at an accelerated rate because of the plant growing inside of him. So he's got more durability, he can recover from injuries better, and he's probably the stronger of the two. So those are going to be a few trump cards in his favor that are going to be more potent than the Thing being the more intelligent fighter. So Solomon Grundy is going to get the edge and take the win of this grudge match. Message me down below, let me know what you think of the outcome of this fight, and as always, suggestions for future grudge matches. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching on the next edition of Grudge Match.